Hello and welcome to my short video tutorial on Anglican Chant. Anglican Chant is an ancient way of singing the Psalms. Instead of music with specific rhythms, Anglican Chant instead uses normal speech rhythms to deliver the text over a repeating chord progression. In other words, think of it like singing except the rhythm isn't written out. Instead, you'll see this. This is called a chant tune. When you look in the Sunday bulletin, you'll see a chant tune at the top of the psalm. It changes every week, just like our hymns. Below the chant tune, you'll see the psalm text. From there, you have all the information you need to sing a psalm using Anglican Chant. What you're seeing here is called a single chant. It's divided up into two halves. The music for a single chant will get you through one verse of a psalm before needing to repeat it. Generally, we use single chants for some of the shorter psalm excerpts that are dictated by the lectionary. Here we see a double chant. As you can see, it's twice as long as a single chant. One entire time through a double chant will get you through two verses of a psalm before having to repeat the music. For right now, we'll stick with a single chant. There are 7 measures in a single chant. Measures 1 and 4 contain what's called the reciting tone. This is where the bulk of the text of a psalm is delivered. There could be several words sung on the reciting tone, or sometimes even just 1 or 2. Measures 2, 5, and 6 have moving notes that take us between reciting tones. These measures generally have 2 syllables in them, 1 per note. There are exceptions, and we'll cover that a bit later on. Measures 3 and 7 are road markers that indicate the halfway point and the end of the chant, respectively. Let's see how they work together. You'll notice that the text has all sorts of markings. This text is called pointed text. The most important markings in pointed text are the vertical markings which coincide with the bar lines in the chant above it. In this psalm, you can see that the words, "To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul, my God, I put my," are all followed by a vertical line. This indicates the end of the first measure of music. All those words are sung on the reciting tone in the first measure. The next words, trust in, are in the second measure of music, with trust taking up the first note and in taking up the second note. The word you takes up the entirety of the third measure. The following bars follow a similar pattern. The words let me not be humiliated, nor let my enemies all take up the fourth measure. Triumph takes over the fifth measure, with each syllable of triumph taking a single note in that fifth measure. And the word over takes up the 2 notes in measure 6, with each syllable taking only a single note. Finally, the word me takes up the last measure. Now, let's hear how it sounds. Follow along with me as I sing the first verse. To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. My God, I put my trust in you. Let me not be humiliated, nor let my enemies triumph over me. Easy, right? Now this time, sing the first verse along with me. Ready? Let's go. To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. My God, I put my trust in you. Let me not be humiliated, nor let my enemies triumph over me. What are the other markings in the text, though? The asterisk indicates the halfway point of the verse. This aids in keeping track of where you are in the psalm text and the chant tune. Look at verse 3. You'll notice that the word teach is in bold text. This is to indicate that even though it's a 1-syllable word, it's going to cover 2 notes. Listen and follow along as I demonstrate verse 3. Show me your ways, O Lord, and teach me your paths. Remember, normally in measure 5, there'd be 2 syllables to cover those 2 notes, but in this case, since the text doesn't allow for it, we've had to use a 1-syllable word instead. Finally, let's look at one more example of pointing that you'll encounter. Notice in this verse, there's a small dot in the middle of passion and the word and. If we were to sing this verse, we know that the words, remember, O Lord, you're calm, take up the first measure. Nothing new there. But now the second measure, should have 2 syllables to it, just like our earlier example. However, in this case, the pointing of the text shows a total of 3 syllables in that measure. In that second measure, the text to the left of the dot indicates that all those syllables should be sung on the first note. The text to the right of the dot indicates that all those syllables should be sung on the second note of that measure. Let's hear how it sounds. Remember, O Lord, your compassion and love, for they are from everlasting. And that's it. You now have everything you need to sing the Psalms with us in church. I hope this tutorial has been useful to you.